Greetings, Mason Storm here. I was working on this recipe for some type of potatoes. I'm not entirely sure what the name of it is. If you can let me know in the comments below, it'd be fabulous. So I have 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper powder, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, a clove of garlic, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, got a small onion diced, approximately 1/2 cup of cream, and a potato, as well as some grated cheese. Gonna start our process off by slicing up our potato, very similar to the way that you would slice it if you were making potato au gratin or if you were making scalloped potatoes. Actually, that's how this recipe kind of started. Was gonna make some kind of potato au gratin, but didn't have enough cream, so decided to fry everything up instead. So once we're done slicing this up, we're gonna move over to the stove top. Have the cast iron pan on the stove, medium heat, and then we'll pour in our olive oil. In hindsight, I should have just poured the olive oil in from the bottle rather than measuring it out, because measuring it out is kind of tough. It depends on your pan size. Could be a little bit of oculus ignis, but once we get to a proper temperature, it's time to add in our potatoes, as well as our cream and our cookables, so our onion and our garlic in this particular instance. And then we're just going to let this stuff cook down for 5-6 minutes or so, just to get some cookery into our potatoes to start to kind of soften them up a little bit. Now, your selection of cream here, I found that if your cream's a little bit on the strong side, super high milk fat, I'm talking whipping cream, it kind of scorches a little bit, so you want something a little bit lighter. Maybe even milk, somewhere between milk and super duper cream, so probably around 15-20% milk fat percentage. So if you mix light cream with heavy cream, you can kind of get there, or milk with heavy cream, or just use your half and half, and it's probably good enough. You just need a little bit of a shot to it. I might have a little bit too much cream going on here, but we're just gonna let that cook down. And now it's time to add in our spices and seasonings. Cayenne pepper, black powder, and salt. This salt is fancy Dead Sea salt. I don't know if that's any better or worse, but it looks cool. So now we're just going to keep cooking it. We're going to keep cooking it until our potatoes are nice and tender, which can take, I don't know how long. It depends on your pan size and the size of your potato, but I ended up cooking mine for about another 10 minutes or so after adding the seasoning to get the potatoes about as tender as I was looking for. Now, I think I was moving the stuff around too much, because I did have some of the potatoes break and kind of stick to the bottom of the pan, and that was kind of unpleasant. Not the best situation. So probably using a little bit bigger of a pan or a little bit less potatoes will make it easier to mix them around, move them around without having any type of stickage. Also, if you have better positioning, you can probably get some caramelization on the potatoes, because in my first attempt at making this, or should I say my salvaging my failed potato au gratin, I had nice caramelization on the potatoes, but this time I wasn't able to achieve the same effect. And that's part of the reason why I call this not quite complete as a recipe, but it is quite tasty and quite delicious. So I thought I would share it with the world. And once our potatoes are finished cooking and they're all nice and tender, it's time to add in our cheese on the top. Now you just need to add the cheese, kind of mix it around a little bit, and it will all be nice and sticky, which is what we want. We want our potatoes to be kind of glued together with our cheese. At which point we'll call this dish done. And there you have it. I've got a few more things to try with this recipe before I really truly consider it done, but I think it tastes quite amazing, and I'm going to see if I can tweak the recipe a little bit more, and I might do a follow-up to this. Either way, these are some mighty delicious potatoes, and feel free to try them and give me your thoughts on them. And I can see about ways I can kind of tweak this to perfection. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. And until next time, stay awesome.